Well, good morning. What, Angel? I wasn't talking to you. What are you doing, Angel? She was sitting in the open window a few minutes ago. Now I'm getting a weird look from Mittens. Hi, Mitts. She says, yeah, right. So, oh, well, we got back from visiting Kentucky. Oh, on Thursday evening. All I got to say is, what a beautiful state. Oh, I hated to come back. I really did. Our temperatures right now are a little on the cool side. We're hovering right around between 59, 60, 61, and around there. So, coffee's good. And I see on the news they are cleaning up a mess. Oh, my word. A chicken truck overturned. I don't know how many of you ever seen a chicken truck. When I was working, I would always see them going east, fully loaded, west, empty. Yeah. Well, there was a chicken truck overturned. I think they said in Delaware. They say there's lots of white splotches on the ground, not moving. So that was not good. Well, I don't know if anybody's going to show up today because this time of year, the sun's up, the birds are singing. Who in their right mind would be inside and sitting in front of the computer? Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Well, I am going to turn that TV off. There we go. Now I won't be distracted. Okay, so my family and I made a trip to Kentucky, and we were down there for a week. It was beautiful. I loved it. We stayed in an Airbnb. It was the lady's parents' home, I believe she said, that she inherited. Nice little house, not fancy, but nicely decorated. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted a picture of the carpet in the living area. It had 3 bedrooms. Wasn't huge. It was fine. It was adequate. Um, since I had my father with us. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Oh, yeah, since we had my father with us, it worked out very well. Um, he was definitely more comfortable there than he would have been in a hotel, for sure. It's like he could not travel every day with us and run around the way we were running around. There was no way. So he stayed in at the house. And my son, I'll tell you, he was a godsend. Can you imagine? He's like really into computers and video games and stuff like that. Okay. Very much techie. And we were there the whole week and there was no internet. There was internet at the library in town, but if they were closed, the internet was off. Oftentimes, if something is closed, like for instance, McDonald's, if they're closed, I can sit on the table outside and I can still access the internet. Okay. With this library, nope, I tried going in the parking lot because they closed at 2 on Saturday, closed on Sunday, and we happened to be there for Memorial Day and they were closed. So we we didn't get to go down and use it very often. But I had to leave someone there at the house with my dad. Um, and my son stayed there the whole time. He didn't get to go and do what he wanted to do. He got to do hardly anything with the internet, with the computer, or anything the whole time, and he never once complained. Never once did he complain. I did finally, was it the day before we left or the day before that? One of those days. I made a point of taking him down. There was a Dairy Queen down there, and he hadn't been to a Dairy Queen in a good long while. They're not very common around here, and so, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh, I don't know why I'm yawning. So he made a point of taking him down there, and he was very happy. And well, so this was a very, very good visit. The It's just things. Okay, we went down there looking to look at land. Okay, to look at property. And I had my notebook. Show you my notebook. I had my notebook and I had write up some properties, okay, that we were going to be looking at. Okay, get into blank pages. Still a few blank pages in there. So anyway, my notebook, and we're going through. I had written down properties that we wanted to look at because bear in mind, had no internet. Okay, so I couldn't go keep checking back and whatnot. I was in touch with a real estate agent, and she helped us out some. And there was a couple of properties that I thought were going to be really good. Okay. There was one in particular that I was really hopeful for. The pictures looked promising, but I couldn't really tell for sure. And there was a spring-fed pond, and it was on the lower end of our budget. We had a set amount that we were willing to pay for property. Not a penny over, not a penny. Okay, I was firm on it. And this was about $10,000 cheaper. Okay. And I was really hoping that that one would be good. But when we found it, I looked, and it's like, there's no way. No, it's it would be too much work. It was way overgrown and very closed in. It's just no, it wouldn't work. It looked more open in the pictures. So that was disappointing. There was another one that was not far from where we were staying, right in the same town. And we went up there and took a look, and it was, again, too hilly. And I mean, that's Kentucky. You're going to have that certain places. And it was just, it had a low spot down near the road, but then it was just, it again, it would require too much work to make preparations. It was just too much. So we threw that one out. Um, there was another one that I wasn't going to look at, but a friend of mine saw it and mentioned it. And it was not far from where we were staying, maybe 10 minutes. I think it was like around the corner or something like that. It really wasn't far away. And it was only 13 acres, but it had a building on it, or two buildings. And we looked at it. We went in the buildings, and um, 13 acres. That when you first saw it, it had the grazing up near the front, up the front. The buildings were way back. And okay, the front of the property didn't look that bad. I was like, okay, okay, not really hilly, mostly flat. There were neighbors, um, and um, it seemed quiet until we left, and I noticed there was a group of guys, looked like grown men, that were kind of hanging out. They had four-wheelers and whatnot, and it's like, okay, is this a just a bunch of guys just getting together, or is this a bunch of guys looking for trouble? Who knows? Um, so I looked. We had gone down, looked at the in the building stuff. There was trash everywhere, everywhere. There were old toilets. It was debris. It was all tore up. There was trash everywhere. And if it hadn't been for the trash, I might have considered it a little bit more. But I'm thinking, you know, the buildings were kind of like chopped up a bit. It's kind of hard to describe. It's like, they built one room, and then they added another room, and then they added another room, and it just wasn't. They had a bathroom there, which was painted dark blue, if I remember correctly. I don't know why they do that. And it was a step down. It was really, really weird. Okay. And it's like, I don't know, it needs an awful lot of work. So I that was the first property that we looked at. In I was toying with the idea of going back and looking at it again, looking a little bit closer at the construction of the buildings and seeing if they were sound. It had electric pole. I mean, it had power. Well, I don't know if the power was working, but when we were there, because we didn't try any light switches or anything. But I was going to consider looking at it again. Let me see here. We looked. Excuse me. What? Seems to me I thought there was another property that we looked at. Oh, yes, there was another property that okay, we thought we found it based on, what somebody living on that road told us. But then afterwards, talking to a real estate agent, and no, that wasn't the property. And I think it was across the street from it, because the one that we saw and we thought was it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But what was across the street, again, required too much work. So when we confirmed, it's like which property it was or that it wasn't, then we just kind of like I wasn't going to go back out. It was a bit of a drive to get to, and I just I didn't feel like I really wanted to look at it, you know. And then there was this other property. I wasn't planning necessarily to look at the property because looking at the pictures on the listing, it's like, you know, that looks like it's just going to be a bunch of cliffs. It looks way too steep. I don't know that it's going to work. It's very questionable. Okay. And it was two parcels. One was on the other side of the street and not even like right across the street. It was kind of weird. Um, and I just wasn't too keen on looking at it, wasting my time. But the other ones didn't pan out too well. If we hadn't found anything else, we probably would have gone with that 13 acres. But like I said, my heart wasn't in it. But we went ahead and we looked for this divided property. Um, got an address and we went out. Beautiful country, absolutely beautiful. We went up. It looked like the road was on either side of the side street. So we went up and we looked at it. And I thought that it was to the right. And I looked down there and there was a pond. This property had a pond on it, and there was a pond there. Um, and I was trying to remember what the picture was like, the aerial. And okay, I remember there being some kind of a building that wasn't on the property, but it was kind of like a neighbor, and there was something there. It's like, could that be it? But it looks really steep. I mean, again, we're talking Kentucky. And it's just, I wasn't sure. I couldn't figure out how to get over there, and something about the neighbor's drive. I thought I remembered reading something about sharing a drive or something. But I could have been getting it confused with another property. Okay, so contacted real estate agent, and she got a better description. So we had been up and down this road, up and down, up and down. And the description was something about you got to go up a road that looks like a driveway. Okay. It's like, all right. I saw a couple of what looked like driveways that had no kind of signs or indication that they were property or belonged to private property anyway. There's no for sale signs. No for sale signs. No, I take that back. The 13 acres had a for sale sign. Nothing else had a for sale sign. Okay, so that made things even harder. Uh, so the So the first driver went up. No, that wasn't it. And ended up, there was a gate up further. So, okay, I had to turn around and find another one. And then there's this other one. It seemed a little bit more open. And I drove up. Yes, up. Uh, my husband was freaking. He was freaking. We can't find it. It's not here. We got to turn around. It's like, okay, well, there was no place to turn around because it was a narrow drive. And it was cliff on one side and cliff on the other side, or there was trees. It's like there's no turning around. Okay, so we get up to where it forks. Excuse me. It goes up to the right, goes down on the left. But it was open and there was room to turn around. It's like, okay, I was going to turn around. And then something caught my eye. It was a power pole to the left. Something told me, follow the power line. Follow the power line. So I did. Started following the power line. My husband's freaking. Where are you going? What are you doing? It's like, I said, there's a power line. I got to follow the power line. So we pulled down in there. We had gone about a quarter of a mile up. Okay. And so just a little bit further in, I mean, you see trees, okay, and on either side. And we get up there and it opens up. And there in front is a power pole right on a level spot. It even has a street light on it. Okay. And it opens out into open pasture. There's some trees, spotted around. And I'm like, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. And I'm like, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It already had a stone foundation. There was already a power pole set with power lines going to it. There was already open pasture for grazing. There were trees. I was like, this is absolutely perfect. It didn't require a whole lot of work. It I have to put fences up. We have to put the building on, which yeah, we're getting let's see here. I can show this. That's what we're going to get. Okay. It's 2-story. So they can set it right there. It's flat. They don't have to do a lot as long as they can get it there. That's my only issue. The price was good. The number of acres was more than what I could have dreamed for. And it's, well, putting an offer in. So we're just in the process right now. I don't know. I mean, nothing's a done deal yet, but I've talked to some important people. Another thing is the town that we were staying in just happened to be the county seat where this property was. It's like, really? So I could go and I could look into a deed or tax parcel information, anything like that, because I've done that before. It was right there. All my research was right there. And yes, I made use of it. Okay. So if we get this property, okay, I've got a lot of packing to do here still. I've got quite a bit done. I got rid of a lot of stuff. Still got more to get rid of. And I got more packing to do. I packed 2 more boxes yesterday. So cleaning and packing and sorting, and it's amazing how much stuff you accumulate over the years. Stuff you don't need to have. So, so we're doing that. Angel's up there sleeping on her cat tower. I'll have to set up fences. Talk to horse transportation company. I don't know if I may have to go with somebody else. I mean, I like these people. They're very professional, and I know that my horses would have been fine, safe, my horse. But I don't think they can get to the property with a semi. They might be able to get up there, but they wouldn't be able to turn around. And I don't know that they would want to back up a trailer, a semi, with live animals on it down that road. That would be treacherous. That would be treacherous. So I wouldn't expect them to do it. So we may end up getting somebody else. My farrier says he knows a couple people. So I'll have to talk to him next time he's down, because they just had their feet trimmed yesterday. No, today's Wednesday. On Monday. Oh. So anyways. So it's been a very exciting time. Now my dad, he's had more problems with that eye. I think it's just he wants it to heal immediately. I mean, he had a rough go. They had to do the second surgery, and then there was come to find out that there was a loose suture, and that was irritating his eye, and I mean, it was something I couldn't see what was happening, and he just like he just was not in a good mood because of it, and it was rough. It was rough. Whether or not he has his other eye done, I don't know. He's had such a rough time with this one. I have a feeling he's not going to go for getting the other one done, and I don't even know if he'd be able to if this eye was such a problem. He had an appointment on Friday, and the doctor said that his scratch was healed, and he removed the loose suture, and everything should be fine. His vision seemed to be clearing up because they had put an air bubble in there, but it seems to have been my dad seems to be able to see through it all right, but he still, I don't know, it just wasn't right. So he has a pacemaker for a low heart rate. He's not totally dependent on it. It just keeps his heart. If his heart rate slows down, it gives him a little bit of a boost. Um, but my stairs are really, they're getting harder and harder for him. And I'm just hoping and praying he can hang in there for 2 months. See, that cabin, yeah, it's a second floor, second story, but his bedroom will not be on the second floor. Okay, that I've already decided we're going to put a partition in underneath the loft, and that's going to be his bedroom. So he won't have to climb stairs anymore. And the way this property is, we'll be able to pull vehicle up. So he won't have to climb hills, he won't have to climb stairs. That is the plan. So hopefully that will work out. I think it will. And then once we get the cabin situated and put the electricity in and plumbing and whatnot. Yeah, there used to be a house on this property, by the way. Yes, there used to be a house on this property. So you've got your amenities already. They're there. It's just a matter of finding them and hooking them. The electric is easy. It's the pole sticking right up. Okay, the well, we have to find that and have that tested. And septic, we have to check that out or come up with some other idea. There was it. The property was metered for county water, city water, or county water, whatever. But we don't know if it was actually hooked up to that or if there was a well. So, because a lot of times when they bring a water line in, they just set meters for each property, and they don't necessarily have to be hooked up. Excuse me, sorry about that. I don't know how they would. It's like I said, the property is a quarter mile back, so. But it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Okay, did I take video? Did I take pictures? Okay, I took pictures, but the pictures that I took were of my husband measuring the width of the driveway and the road all the way up, because we had to see if the cabin would fit up going up the road. Okay. And well, we had to downsize what we wanted. I wanted a 14 wide, and we're going to downsize to a 12-foot wide. And there's one place, I said to the guy, I said, it's one place, one spot where it's going to be a tight squeeze, but I think you can do it. And if they have to trim a little bit of bark off the tree that's right there, then they have to trim a little bit of bark off the tree. It is what it is. So hopefully I've seen them do some remarkable things moving those buildings. So I'm going to trust them. And if God wants us to have it, it'll work out. And there were a lot of other things that happened in relation to this property. So I will be so happy once we get things settled over there. I think it'll be easier on my dad. And I'm just hoping and praying that he will be a little bit more into stepping outside now and then. Because right now, all he does is just sit in the chair, reads a book, or watches videos. That's all he does. It's hard for him to get up and move around. But you know what they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. So I want him to get up. I want him to move. If you stay sitting all the time and you don't move, then your muscles just don't work right. You've got to move them. And it's hard. It kills me to see him struggle. But at the same time, I know that you've got to use your muscles or you're going to lose the use of them. I mean, I'm hoping that he's around for another few years. I don't know. Things would be easier if my mother was still with us. He absolutely loved my mother. No doubt whatsoever in my mind. And he misses her terribly. I don't know that my mother would have been willing to make this trip to Kentucky with us. So, because it's going to be, at least at first, it's going to be a little more rustic than what we're used to at first, until we get things situated. Okay, it's a process. So, I mean, we might have to haul in water for a little while, but hey, we do that now. We live in the city and we haul in water because we won't drink the water. The well's been contaminated. We don't drink the water. They say it's clean now, but who knows? I don't trust them. So we're already hauling water. So what's the difference between now and there until we get things set up, you know? So, but so what is the timeline? I am hoping the end of July. I'm hoping. See how things progress. Because I know it's going to take 4 to 6 or 6 to 8 weeks for them to get the cabin ready. So I've got to get them moving on that. And we may rent that Airbnb again for a week or two while we get things set up. Because that's not far from the property. And The way my father can be comfortable and we can get things done. So, but, so that is how exciting it's been. And there will be videos. Here is another thing that is good about this property is that there is high-speed internet in the area. So hopefully I will have better internet access than what I've got right now. I won't have to go to McDonald's anymore to upload videos. I am hoping, I am praying, and hopefully I will remember to grab the camera and actually take videos, show you what I'm doing. Um, there's going to be a lot going on. Uh, there will be horses, um, honey, and we're not sure um, what other horse there will be, but there will be at least 2 horses. There will be additional livestock coming, and of course, there will be chickens as soon as I'm ready for them. The priorities are like this: the family first, my father first, okay, and then the rest of us, and then the horses, okay, and then the chickens, and then we'll see what else we do. Garden, not this year. I don't know what the soil's like. It's too late to plant anything. I will have to look and see where I'm going to have a garden. It may be in different places. There is um, like a flower bed kind of thing bricked in already there. So there will be something planted there. Um, what I'm going to be planting there, I can't say at this point. But right now, there's plenty of weeds there. So the weeds will be coming out. And so that there will be work done on that. There's going to be a lot of work happening. So, you know, I will have to hire an electrician to wire the place because that is something I just not sure about me. I don't trust myself to do it. Let's just put it that way. Um, I'll build stuff with wood, no problem. Okay, I'll do all that. But electric stuff, no. I don't trust myself. I can put in an outlet. I've done that. But wiring a place, I'm just not sure that I trust myself to do that. So I will probably have to hire an electrician to do that. But we're talking a small cabin. There will be an addition added onto it at some point in the not too distant future, I figure. Um, but the main thing right now is to get it to where we can sleep in there and I can prepare meals. So, and then we can expand after we get there. The tiny house thing, no, we're not doing a tiny house thing. Okay, we're doing a smaller house. We're not doing a tiny house. If it was just me, fine, no problem. But not with everybody else. No. So, well, I guess that's about it for this morning. Um, sorry nobody was awake this early in the morning to come and have coffee with me. But that's okay. It's that time of year. You know, like I said, with a beautiful morning like this morning, cool temperatures, sun's up, birds were singing. Who in their right mind would be sitting in front of a computer having coffee with me? Really? I don't blame you one bit. And if I was in Kentucky right now, I think it'd be hard for me to even be having a coffee in front of the computer. So have a good one, people, and I will keep you posted. There will be a video of the property coming up in the not too distant future. I can't upload it until Saturday, so hopefully I'll have a chance to sit down and actually edit it so you can see. It's not perfect. I'm a little bit shaky at one point. Tried not to go too fast, but oh, wait till you see it. It is beautiful. So, talk to you soon.